This is not a Sparta remix. We probably shouldn't revive an 8-year-old internet fad. 300 Rise of an Empire is a side story to the original 300, released back in 2007. And it's based on the side story comic called Xerxes, even though Xerxes only appears about 10 or 20 minutes in the film. The story focuses on the Athenians fighting the Persians rather than the Spartans, and the lead is Themistocles rather than King Leonidas. All you really need to know about the plot is that the Greeks are fighting the Persians. That's pretty much it. If you want anything else from this film, you went to the wrong movie. You're not going to find a deep story here. This film is all about action, and most of the fights take place on the ocean at night. So it's always dark, so I would recommend not seeing it in 3D. As far as how good the action is compared to the original, I can't really tell because I haven't seen the original since it was out in theaters back in 2007. Sullivan Stapleton as Themistocles doesn't feel like quite the role that Gerard Butler had as King Leonidas. However, the main villain of the story, Eva Green, which is like Xerxes' right-hand girl, she's the one that really steals the show, and she's really evil in this. There's a point where she chops off some guy's head and makes out with it. There's also a sex scene in this movie where Artemisia is going to be diplomatic with Themistocles, and they sort of start having sex, but they also start fighting at the same time. And I haven't seen a sex scene in a movie for a very long time in theaters, and the great thing about this one, though, is that they were fighting for dominance, like, they both were dominant people. Themistocles was trying to get control of her, and Artemisia just wouldn't have it. And the sex scene actually does lead up to a really great line at the end of the movie. Overall, it didn't quite feel like the movie that the original 300 was, but that's probably because Zack Snyder wasn't directing this one. If you like mindless action, though, this is probably the best you can get that's out right now. Also, you can use this movie as an excuse to see Eva Green's perky boobs on a giant screen. But seriously, she's probably the best thing about this movie. She's like the only character who has a legitimate backstory. And oddly enough, even though she's the female lead, she has full body armor and all of the guys just have capes. Her final body armor is really badass though. So if it sounds like something you'd enjoy, give it a look. See you next time. And if you like this review, check out my other movie reviews in this playlist.